Repetition is a skill that you can so easily cultivate. There are some skills that take work, but repetition is a gift that you can acquire, wire into yourself. The mind learns by repetition. This is a rule of the mind. The mind learns by repetition. We know that, okay, I'm going to repeat something. I'm going to get up every day, drink water, and do some meditation, and then do 10 lunges before I go to work. And we begin, and then something happens. We have a late night, something goes on, and we drop it. You see, success is not about never failing. Success is about how quickly can you get back and repeat the action. And why should you repeat an action? Because we have neural pathways, and the only therapy that ever works long term is something that will change your neural pathways. Why I love hypnosis. I'm totally in love with hypnosis because it changes those neural pathways. So if I did this with my finger just over and over again, just for the sake of it, or started to pull out my eyelashes or scratch and pick up my skin, when I repeat that action, I'm starting to make a neuron. It's like a little thread that becomes like a rope, that becomes like a cable. If for some reason you tape my finger together, or I sit on my hands and I can't pick up my skin or pull out my eyelashes or pull out my eyebrows, that neuron starts to dissolve. It goes from a cable to a rope to a thread to nothing. So I want you to imagine that when you start to repeat something, two things are happening. Wiring in, firing and coding in the new behavior, but also you are starting to dismantle, to erase, to eliminate the old. Many times we start something, but we haven't dismantled the old. We think, oh, this doesn't work. This is too hard. People have good intentions, but I want you to think about repetition. I want you to help yourself by saying, I'm building new neurons that like this and dismantling the old ones that like the opposite. So repetition is very powerful. It's like putting a lens in your eye. You have a bit of silicone there, you shove it in your eye goes, WTF, I don't like that. I'm going to water and get rid of it. If you do it every day, your eye goes, oh, I'm used to this now. So repetition is a gift, but here's how to make it even more of a gift. As you're doing something repetitively, I'm the kind of person who wakes up and does 10 emails or does some stretches or drinks some water, or I make the bed before I leave the house. These are silly, unimportant things, but they're also important because they're wiring in a new behavior. While you're doing the repetition, start saying, I'm choosing this, I'm loving this, this works for me, this suits me, I like it. So as you begin to wire in this repetition, start saying, I'm choosing to love it, choosing to love it, choosing to feel all the benefits. Repetition on its own is a gift. Repetition with some key words, some key suggestions. I like this. This is improving my life. As you choose it, you see that whatever you require will most certainly require something of you. Then you can choose to do it with repetition over and over and over again until it stops being what you do and becomes who you are. And then you are winning at life because it's who you are. I was a single parent and a therapist. I loved being a therapist. To this day, it is a gift. But I wanted my daughter to go to a private school, and I was thinking, well, what can I do? What can I repeat? And I realized it was writing a book. I was seeing clients. I thought, I could write a book. I could write a book that would give me a second income. As a parent, it was very important for me to be at home with my child. I was a therapist, so I could work from home. I could work around school run, pick up, drop off. I could cancel my clients if my daughter was ill. And I didn't want to have a second career that took me away from that because I loved that. But I began to think about what I could do. And clearly the answer was write a book. But writing a book requires a lot of repetition. You've got to sit down. My publisher called it butt on seat. Sit down and start to write. When you're not in the mood, write the foreword, write the acknowledgements, do anything. And over repetition, I began to love writing that book. And when it was finished, I handed it in. He said, where's the next one? I went, oh no. And he was quite forceful, which I liked very much, because he said, of course you have another book in you. And I loved that, but he believed me when I didn't. That's another story, having one person to believe in you. But that's a good thing to repeat. Who could I find that would believe in me? Or could I repetitively start to believe in myself? How do you do that? You say this: I have a gift. I have a unique skill set. I have something to offer the world. One of the keys for repetition to make it really fire and wire and code and stickies to repeat to yourself. As you begin something, I've got this, I can do this. Don't go, who am I? You know, many years ago, one of the most famous actors in the world sent his car to get me. And I was thinking, who am I? Who am I to go and tell him how to be a better actor? He's already amazing. But when I sat in front of him and talked to him, I realized that we both had imposter syndrome. He kept saying, who am I? Who am I to play this amazing person? I'm thinking, who am I to help you? But we both had something I like. We did it anyway. I thought, who am I? But I still did it. He thought, who am I? And he still did it. And that's repetition. Who am I? But I'm going to get in that car, go to his house and do the session. He thought, who am I? But I'm going to turn up and play that amazing person. Because you have a brilliant brain and you have a choice every single minute of every single day. Talk yourself into it or talk yourself out of it. I could have talked myself out of it. I'm too inadequate to get in that car. This person's too famous. Who am I? But I talked myself into it. He's asked for me, and how exciting to go and see one of the most famous actors in the whole world go to his home. This is a wonderful thing. I'd be crazy to turn it down. This is something I repeated a lot that changed my life. Say yes to everything. You see, you can always go back and say no later. I'm so sorry I agreed to that, but actually I've realized I can't do it. When you say no, you can't really come back with a yes. So I thought, I'm going to say yes to everything. Yes to speaking gigs, yes to teaching events, yes to having my own therapy business, and I say yes a lot. And I very rarely come back and say, actually, now it's a no. But imagine how that would change your life, saying yes. Can you come to this event? Yes. I can say, Dave, actually, you know, I'm so sorry. I've got a headache, I'm really tired. I'm going to cancel on this dinner, this event. Think of simple things that you can repeat. And here's my all-time favorite, of course. I am enough. I am enough. You see, it's not enough to write that on a post-it and stick it on your fridge. It's not enough to think, oh yeah, there it is, that post is saying I'm enough. That's not enough. If you want to join the I am enough movement, repeat it. Wake up and state it. One of the best things to do is when you're in the shower, when there's nothing else to do, start to go, I'm enough. I'm enough. I always have been enough. I couldn't be more enough. Repeat it. And then as you go downstairs, have it written on your fridge. As you open the fridge door, say it. Have your phone alerts ping at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. or 7 a.m. as it was saying, I'm enough. Or maybe like me, you have the I'm enough bracelets. I don't actually do it very much now because I've done it so much for so long that it's wired in me. If you cut me open like a stick of rock, it would be there. But I did repeat that a lot. I'm enough. I'm enough. I can take this job, I can give that speech, I can write that book, I can be a great parent, I can be a great partner because I'm enough. I can fail because I'm enough. But you got to repeat it and repeat it. And you see, when you repeat it, here's something that happens. Your mind goes, you're not really enough, are you? Because you don't wear designer clothes, you don't live in a great house, you haven't got a car, you're flying an economy. You go, you know, that's all true, and I'm still enough. I'm still enough. And then you realize, oh, I'm objecting. No one else is going, that's not true. You're saying, yeah, but I'm not enough because I haven't got a degree. I didn't go to college. I don't own my own home. I haven't got a great job. I didn't get that promotion. But when you add in the objection, go, that's all true, and I'm still enough, your mind goes, oh, you know, you say this every day, it must be true. You repeat it every day, it must be true. You can say it, and when an objection comes up, remember, oh, I'm objecting. And if I'm objecting, I can stop objecting and go, well, that's true, but I'm still enough. By repetition, state, affirm, embody. You know, write it everywhere, say it, state it. And when a little voice goes, just go, no, that's all true, I'm still enough. Because here's the truth, you are a flawed person, so am I. I'm deeply flawed. We're all flawed, and we can have beautiful flawed relationships. It's called being flawsome when we know we're enough, because when you know it, the whole world will join you knowing it too. Its strength is in its simplicity, but also its incredible power, because the truth is you were born enough. You're enough for the rest of your life. When you know it, the whole world will join you. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Check out my next video here.